He is a bridge expert in doing the consulting internationally. And he talked about the seismic resilience and the scour tolerant long river crossing. Probably, I'm not sure, but he looks the most youngest among the keynote lecturers.
Today, we'd like to share with you a little experience on the concept design and detail design procurement assistant of partner, which we are detail designer, of course. And my claim to fame is I actually work with Professor Fujino. He's the leading member of the expert panel for Bangladesh government. We've been consultants. The project involves 6.15 kilometer of shore-to-shore river crossing together with the motorway network and resettlement of the local inhabitants and kilometers worth of riverbank protection. The Patna Bridge is not the largest river in the world, the Amazon is, but the Patna has got the largest volume of sediment transport. Of course, you're all hydraulic experts. With this large amount of sediment, you get very deep erosion and scour at the banks and also in the riverbed. If you don't protect the banks, one day the river may short circuit the abutments, it goes behind the bridge, so the bridge is of no use. In our job, we study 40 years worth of satellite photographs. From the images, we understood the rivers never in one place, and is forever breaking up, into many branches. So for strategic bridge crossing to be stable and functional, we need to stabilize the banks. And the topic today is on seismic resilience. That's actually some typographical error in the proceedings. Resilient spelled T and not ENCD. It's the adjective, not the noun. Resilient and scour tolerant. And we've been advocating a displacement-based approach in seismic design. Traditionally, it has been a force-based approach. What are they? The force-based approach is to design the member and the overall structure to be longer and longer. Stronger and stronger, and then it's not cost competitive, it's not efficient, and in this particular site, the heavier this structure, the more difficult it is to get any foundation to work. So over the years, gradually people have been moving towards displacement approach. You design the structure to allow it to move, and the movement thereby avoid the build-up of forces. Of course, it has its own challenge. How do you allow such large movements in different earthquake events? So today we show a little bit of what we actually did and what we achieved. Of course, you will do a good job, either in research or design construction, and many times you will finish the project and the client, sit back on the back, jolly nice job done. This job, we don't need anyone to tell us it's a jolly nice job done, because it's for the people, it's for the people. If you've been to Bangladesh, you will know you have kids following you, they ask for money, they ask for food. So you as an engineer, you think, well, how much can you give? You must have a more medium-term, longer-term solution. It's not just by handing out money in an unorganized manner. So it's for the people. SOS. So to give you an overview of the project, I stand back and review one. The bridge will carry a heavy rail, freight rail, diesel track. The freight rail will connect to the foundation railway network. So one day, the goods trains, the heavy container trains will be able to come down all the way from India to Chittagong on the south coast of Bangladesh. That V-shaped thing is transition here between the main river crossing and the Politwire. So double decker, two level. So the container trains are 32-ton axle load, pretty heavy. Construction started back in 2016, and according to program, if all goes well, we hope it will open next year. It's a bit ambitious, but so all parties are trying to work to that whole process. So you get a good feel for the site, the structure we have designed and we're building. So design criteria is interesting to know. The seismic design criteria, they were based on ASHTO. But the ASHTO wouldn't go very far with this difficult site. So we actually, with the help of a local university, site-specific seismic hazard assessment was carried out. So this gives you a glance of the different return periods and what would be the peak ground acceleration at minus 920 meter to PWD, the local survey data. And at that level, the ground conditions are largely very dense sands. So it's a little bit of concept. We designed two-level earthquake, the operational level earthquake. It amounts to, if you think in terms of probability, is 65% of exceedance in the design line of the bridge, 100 years. Yeah? And peak ground acceleration, I think the point is the other one. And it's fully functional. Of course, no collapse for sure, no damage. Immediately, we open the traffic. Okay. And then the other one, the higher one, the contingency level earthquake. Different projects, you call these figures different names, like maximum consider earthquake. But it revolves around the same concepts. So this is again in probability terms, 10% of exceeded in the design light of 100 years. Then you can convert that into a return period of that contingency level earthquake. That would be equivalent to a 475-year return period. The peak ground acceleration pretty high, not as high as Turkey, Greece, Sichuan. But I can tell you why this is killing. Because the erosion of the foundation, the piles are exposed, and then the earthquake comes, so it's absolutely killing. Performance is no collapse, of course. And with the displacement-based approach of seismic design, we advocate and practice no plastic formation in the foundation, not in the piles, because they are so difficult to inspect and repair. And we'll show you later, we succeeded in many parts of the structure, superstructure, and the pier shafts. We also ensure these components work within the elastic region. So we're going further and further away from the ductility, the so-called ductility or reliance on the plastic hinge approach. So we work to 5 spectra. We obtained ground motions. 3 of them were based on the Japanese code, and 2 of them that derived the whole of the university after as part of the output of the site-specific hazard assessment, and then just for comparison, for calibration, the motion based on the spectra based on AECOM. And then we applied reasonably stringent movement limits on the structure, rotation, deflection, particularly at the joints. We have roll joints as well as rail joints. Then this is the stuff here. Then nobody ever worked on any organized, usable criteria for scour. So from the measured data over history, well, we found the general scour. It's quite strange. The general scour intrinsic in the riverbed, deeper near the banks, and not so deep towards the middle of the river. What is general scour then? General scour is due to the forces of nature. Even if you don't build any foundation to disturb the riverbed, the forces of nature gives you erosion and the general scour, which is okay. So to get it organized, we calculated for different return periods. We calculated the probability of exceedance, and of course you're all experts in statistics. You can convert them to the equivalent annual, yearly probability. So we're comparing scour and earthquake, and basically we consulted our geotechnical experts, John Endicott. We were wondering, because if you stand on site, you see some redeposited material filling back the scour hole. So we asked John Endicott, could we then rely on any parts of them? Because some people argue the scour is not a problem. We got the loose material, they come and go, they may come back one day and fill the hole. And then scientifically, it's not actually reliable, because we deposit the material filling the hole. When the earthquake comes, they liquefy. So we better count that as a loss, and then realistically determine the loss in embedment, over what depth, the piles will be exposed. So no combination. Yeah. So we have different investigations, just like we design a highway bridge, normal low cases. So we have scour with traffic, wind temperature, scour together with the contingency earthquake, and scour with chip impact, and scour alone. So we decided, after some study, we decided it's realistic, when we have this severe scour, 500-year return period, then there would be permanent vertical load. It's like when you design for earthquake in Ashto, 1/3 of the traffic load that kind of analogy. For maximum efficiency, we configure the girders into about 6 modules. So extension joint, and we actually study 2 options: 8 number raking pile, the steel-driven pipe pile is 6 number. We also we design for concrete vertical ball pile options. They didn't work. I'll tell you why. So our envisage erection scheme, which is adopted by the contractor on site, is like hose band lifting, and then it's a steel truss with top below that concrete slab, and then the lower, the rail envelope also concrete slab. So just like good old caption bridge, is double composite, steel truss. There's the equivalent webs, and then top deck and bottom deck concrete slab. So it's an image, 6 high wood. It's absolutely awesome. So these are some 120 meter long. Okay, so it's the first time in the world to drive cars that long, 3 meter diameter and raking. At the time of the design, we found in China they have driven like 5 meter diameter steel tubular piles. These are 3 meter, but those were vertical. So the other parties challenging our design, these are raking, nobody done it before. So I'm pleased to report on site they've driven many of these now. Everything for the first time. So I mentioned James Scour, force of nature. What is local scour then? By introducing a foundation in the riverbed, you see the local scour. So we've done numerical modeling, and also we went to a hydraulic laboratory to actually by experiment to determine the local scour. So the total would be the general scour plus the local one. Here is around the local scour, around 15 to 20 meter deep. So obviously we tried many schemes and none of them worked, or not very efficient and not cost competitive. So we have this idea of seismic isolation. Where you see in literature, people put seismic isolation at the basis of buildings. Here we're not working, we're putting these isolation bearings between the girder and the top of the column. This was actually an animation, but to make it show anything, we had to do it in exaggerated scale. So the client panicked when he saw the exaggerated moving. So since then, we changed back to an image, static, not dynamic. Then go back to. So these are frictional pendulum bearings. Earlier I mentioned, if you adopt a displacement-based approach, you let the structure move, so it dissipates the build-up of forces. But the movement would be pretty large. How do we circumvent that? So you see, the male-female is an arc of a circle. So the movement is to go uphill and downhill rather than horizontal. Uphill and downhill, then the net travel horizontally can be managed, limited. So this is how we do. This is another type, triple pendulum. The device is more complicated, and the net horizontal movement will be further reduced, triple pendulum. But we decided to go for a double. So we went for Virginia on this actually, soft-soil. Then the ball pile, would be quite flexible. A bore pile skew would be quite flexible in this subsoil condition. It wouldn't work. So we use raking driven pile. They're quite stiff, and also the axle load in the raking pile can resist some of the lateral forces. And this is all seismic design stuff, you know, the piers and the superstructure that they are, in technical terms, you know, highly non-regular. So it's there's a high risk of damage. And also the concrete slabs, they're quite heavy. So picture in your mind's eye, you have a cantilever structure carrying a very heavy lump mass. This is exactly what we don't want. It's not efficient, also challenging. So we were hypothesizing at the design stage that would the seismic isolation, you know, we could reduce the number of piles, and we could also make the structural members to remain in the elastic region, so the very low risk of damage and repair. So we actually calculated the whole global structure, superstructure, pier and foundation, and looked at the long period here. And we compared them both for a second. Yeah. And the raking piles, as I said, nearly 120 meters long. Yeah. And we ended up with a long period structure in subsoil, and the magnification of the earthquake upwards from the very dense sand to the top, you know, silt and clay, it is all good. Picture worth 1,000 words. So you see the magnification. This is all we set out to do. What is even better, we will show you what we actually achieved. So we just revisit. We have three ground motion from Japanese boat, 2 from the site-specific assessment, you know, and effectively 1 from our stroke, but for different periods. So 1 attempt, 6 pile with seismic isolation. So we have friction pendulum bearing at the top, like that. So the analysis model looks like that. And then another option we try, 8 piles. So 8 piles, we no friction pendulum bearing, so we have, we would be needing conventional articulation. So three-field model, logo and transverse. We actually check. This is like the 6 span between movement joints. So this is the transition pier. What you see before, the V-shaped pier. And then some model we have adjacent. Oh, that's better. Yeah, so this tower can hit any foundation or any combination of foundations. So we exhausted all permutation combination. Yeah. And PY curve for the swing, and the model for the soil structure interaction. And this is the schematic of our design method. We use shape to find the program, shape to find the interpretation, and also we feed back to the global fiber technical model, the effective shear modulus damping ratio. From the fiber technical model, layer by layer, we calculated that and cross-check with the shape. Okay. to the grade. -60, what we use routinely for the finite economic analysis. So for the hydrodynamic forces, we just simulated them with additional water mass. So something it's good to see. 6-pile option with friction pendulum bearing is the purple. 8-pile, yeah. We compare the axial force, bending moment, and shear. Oh, this is what I was looking for, this slide. Without seismic, without the friction pendulum bearing, without isolation, we use conventional sliding bearings and also shock transmission units. They are huge. So even if they just about work, it's completely congested and it's higher cost and very unwieldy. So this scheme is friction pendulum bearing at the pier top. Yeah. So just as a summary, with seismic isolation, we didn't need the vertical there, and the diagonals being trimmed down. I think we can reduce the stable quantity by 6 to 8%. Okay? It will wonders for the pile. Without the seismic isolation, the pier will yield. So we have plastic heat formation in the pier shaft. But with the isolation between pier top and the superstructure, it works in the linear elastic region. And we reduce the number of pile from 8 to 6. I haven't mentioned the 4-pile. The 4-pile would not work because comparing apple with apple, you need a much larger number of ball piles for it to be equivalent to raking piles. Then the forest of ball piles causes blockage in the water flow. More blockage, the higher the scour. Then you beef up the ball pile again and you are chasing the tail. So it never works. Just a comparison reduction. So all that free field model of modified Penzian, Zhou Penzian method that was checked by fully-fledged 3D finite element LS Dyno model was checked. So it has been happening on site. There's film on location. So you see the steel trusses. And this is the node in the fabrication shop in China. So the modules, the truss modules, were shipped to Dhaka, to Bangladesh, and assembled into truss modules. And this is the manufacture of the friction pendulum bearing. It's huge, absolutely enormous. Yeah. But you see a man there, so it's a little scale. Yeah. So I believe this was the first lift, okay? Yeah. You see the excellent. This hose-band lifted. So the floating barge is 3,600 ton capacity. Fantastic. This is the power driving, 3-meter diameter, and 120 meter long, 1 in 6, data, 1 in 6, so see the power top. At the junction between the pile and the pile gap, we reinforced concrete infill. Then along the pile, we fill them with sand